Welcome back to Fresh Talk Media. A lot is going on in the political space right now. Our president is planning, making all kinds of efforts to continue his leadership by 2027. Mr. Clem.
Yeah.
So recently we heard some rumors that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his people are making some plans, some strict strategic plan as the strategic master that he has always been to win the Northerners, the minds of the Northerners, because it seemed the way they supported him back in 2023 is not likely to be the way they would support him by 2027. So they are cooking up some new plans to achieve this goal. What do you think this plan could be? What is going on?
Well, thank you for having me, Jen. What's going on is not far from being that the North has rejected President Tinubu totally.
Just like that?
Just like that. The North has rejected President Tinubu totally. And there's nothing he can do about it right now. Because the kind of political game they played in the North is different from the one we play here in the South. What you need to understand is this. President Tinubu can never become Nigerian president today without the help of President Muhammadu Buhari, the late President Muhammadu Buhari.
So the late president made some crucial impact.
Yes, President Muhammadu Buhari made a very big, crucial impact. In the beginning, 2014, when President Muhammadu Buhari became the presidential candidate of APC, they couldn't have done it without President Muhammadu Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari was a very unique human being in the North. People saw him differently. I don't know why, but that is how I can say God made him. He's a unique man in the sense that every election, he always won the North. His record is there. He started contesting election, I think 2023. President Buhari contested election in 2023.
Or 2003? Is that...
Sorry, I'm sorry, please. President Buhari contested election in 2003, 2007, and 2011.
Okay.
2011, he contested again. He cried after he lost that election. He cried openly that this will be his last time. He was always emphasizing that he was rigged out.
Okay.
So he never believed that he lost the election. All these years he has been contesting for these elections.
Okay.
So now, Obasanjo won him the first time. His late brother, Umaru Yaradua, they came from the same state, Katsina, at that very time, 2007. Yaradua won under PDP with Jonathan. 2011 again, he came back again to contest under CPC. Now he formed his own political party. Okay. No more ANPP. Now he formed his own party, CPP. Then he contested the election, and all these elections, whenever Buhari contests the election, he always coming out with nothing less than 11 to 12 million votes.
From the North?
From the North. And the very, very, very limited number he always get from the South, which never gotten up to state. But now, they use him to clinch the power because of his popularity. President Tinubu is not popular in 2014, and he's not popular in 2023. The only thing that made him to succeed and win that election was just INEC in 2023. President Tinubu couldn't have won the election if INEC conducted a free and fair election, because the late President Muhammadu Buhari wanted to give Nigerians free and fair election. If no other thing he could have achieved, he made his mind that let the winners emerge through the ballot. Let Nigerians decide who will be their leaders. So for the fact that the president has gave a pathway to him, that was how he became the president today. So now, when he came into power, he didn't continue to support or carry out some of the projects of Mr. President, especially in the North or something. People that supported him to bring him back to power, people like Madam Nasir El-Rufai. El-Rufai went rebel against the sitting government there, APC, of President Muhammadu Buhari, to the extent taking the President Muhammadu Buhari's government to Supreme Court over the Naira redesign. El-Rufai and co. They did that. El-Rufai was one of the people that came out to oppose the presidential order that the power will go to the South after being in the North for 8 years.
Yeah.
Now, when El-Rufai finished all those things, President Buhari, President Tinubu wanted El-Rufai to work for him. And he insisted that El-Rufai will make him a promise openly. El-Rufai said no, that after his governorship that he want to go back to school. But he insisted that he wants him El-Rufai now accepted in public.
Wow.
But coming back to power, he disgraced El-Rufai. And not only El-Rufai, so many people that work with President Buhari then, he now realized that they were not in his support. That they were just doing two-face. He kicked them out of government, started using EFCC to prosecute them, to chase them around and all kind of stuff. That one is by the way. But in the north today, President Tinubu's influence and President Tinubu's popularity is nowhere to be found. He has lost the popularity. Even Malam Ribadu and so on and so forth, people who are from the north, they can't be able to market him because these guys are not popular in the north. In the north today, the popular people you can see there, you see someone like a Kwankwaso, you see someone like El-Rufai. Atiku Abubakar is also popular in his own way. But if you look on the street, people who can be able to canvass votes and people who follow them without paying them, without inducement of money, is Kwankwaso, is El-Rufai. In the present, the north today.
So aside Kwankwaso and El-Rufai, some people are saying that he can still use the influence and using some cunning ways of talking about the late president to capture the minds of the Northerners again, since they've always loved him.
They always love the president, but the Northerners are not fools too. They are not fools. Mr. President, I watched his statements during his team, led by Hope Uzodinma, they visited him. He said that I took over for myself. The late President Buhari was me. I was also him. We are partners. If I took over from President Buhari, that means I took over for myself. People were clapping for him. Now you want to be clever by half. This is the president that came into power. He just find a way to rubbish the image and the policies of President Buhari. Daniel Bwala and so on and so forth, when they come to national television, they always tell you that this is the new government has nothing to do with Buhari's government, this, that. So now he has found out that he has lost popularity in the north. He's trying to see how he can be able to, and this is the beginning. He's going to be coming up now with more conniving collaboration statement with the late Muhammad Buhari. But late Muhammad Buhari is not here to raise his hands anymore. He's late. So if Buhari is alive, then you can say that maybe he may help him to come to rally or something, to help him to raise his hand up for people to see that he's still in support of him. But now the late President Buhari is late. So nobody can stand for him to do that anymore. That's why he's finding it difficult. So coming now to say President Buhari is me, I'm also President Buhari, it's not at this late hour. If you want them to believe that President Buhari was you and you have been President Buhari, you're supposed to start it from the beginning of your government.
He should have continued.
You should have continued with the policies of President Buhari, which you know that you promised us before that you are coming to continue from where President Buhari stopped. All those things were just to buy the mindset of the North.
Okay.
To support him that very time. Okay. It's not that he meant it. So when he came into power, he started chasing away all the Northerners who are in power in one way or the other, changing them with the Fulani, changing them with the Yoruba, his own Yoruba kinsmen. Okay, all the parastatals in Nigeria today, they are all being controlled by 95% of them are being controlled by the Westerners. Okay, so if you check Southwest people in charge of MPA, in charge of this, in charge of that, everything, majorly things that got to do with the finance of Nigeria, both the CBN, both the finance minister, both anything, the Massa and so on and so forth, MPA, they're all the one in charge. The Yorubas are the one in charge. So the Northerners are not happy with it. You chase them away and you take over the whole parastatal, you take over the whole government agencies and hand it over to your own brothers. Then you now distance yourself from the late President Buhari. You told us then that no, Buhari government, they were very wasteful. They did this. All your supporters, all your handlers, they were coming out lambasting the late President Buhari's government, how they stole Mole, Manami, and so on and so forth. Okay? So at the end of the day, you find out now that you cannot find your way into the heart of the Northerners. Then he's trying to make a U-turn, try to tell them that he's also a man of Buhari, this one and this one. But
you think that will fly?
Northerners will not take it because they know he's just trying to do anything to get their vote. Right now, President Tinubu knows that he has lost the North. He's not going to get a very big vote the way he did before. He's not going to get it. It's very difficult. I don't know who is making the own calculation for them, but I believe they will be conducting their own poll. That's why he's so scared of this election. If they conduct their own poll today, a natural poll without any sentimental polling, he will see that he doesn't have the figures. Yeah, he will see he doesn't have the figures to be re-elected. Where is the figure going to come from? Is he on the area of the electricity? Is he in the area of power, electrical, unemployment? Is he in the area of security? Is he in the area of economy? Is he in the area of welfare or for services or something? We don't have anything we are getting from Nigeria. He came into power, he removed the subsidy in electricity, he removed the subsidy in petroleum. Nigerians are not getting anything from the government anymore. Absolutely nothing, which is very, 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 very stupid of our government. No government you go today, they don't do subsidy. Even in the United States, they subsidize agricultural produce. That's why you go to shop, you can find with $50, with $100, you can buy a lot of chunk of food. Your trunk will full. Everywhere will fill up. And you come back home, you eat, because those things have been subsidized by the government. You got to eat.
And that is
before you talk of tomorrow. Today, Nigerians don't have a food. We don't have food to eat, and we don't even have hope of having food tomorrow.
And the government is not ready to do anything.
The government is not ready to do anything. I'm not that you are telling Nigerians to continue to have hope. No, the hope after 4 years is a very hopeless hope. It's very hopeless. So
that's critical.
Given the reinforcement of this very government, because if finally allow President Tinubu to continue in power for another 4 years, that's you have been giving them a pass mark that your suffering is very good. Yeah, the suffering you are going through today is justified. So, but I don't think that anybody who is passing through difficulty can be justified in any form. Nowhere.
Honestly, Mr. Clem, I'm so speechless. Dear viewers, please, what are your thoughts? What do you think? A lot is going on. They keep cracking, they keep strategizing as master strategists. They keep planning, they keep cooking up different styles, different ideas on how to win back the hearts of the people from the south, from the north. What do you think? Will Nigerians allow them achieve their plans? How will 2027 election be? Will President Tinubu just continue, have his way, the way he desired, the way he wished, or will Nigerians fight back to get back what belongs to them? Thank you for watching. If you're still with us at this point, please subscribe to this channel if you haven't. Like this video, share with your friends, and drop your thoughts in the comment section. We shall see you again in our next one. Bye for now.